Welcome to this week, and what a week and weekend it has been. Let's start with the positives. The Crows were simply irresistible Friday night. Their pressure and transition was pretty incredible. Eddie Betts, in terms of, just showed again what the key player he is, and it was really interesting that his repetitive sprints were nearly double of anyone else on the oval. And that's where he is so good and the best small forward ever. It's not just the goals he kicks, it's the goals he creates. It's his unselfishness. He was remarkable again. I think most of us in the footy world think their bottom six is probably the best bottom six in any of the sides. That was pretty obvious Friday night in that regard. So they're on to the big one this week. Playing against Richmond, look, hats off to Richmond. I don't think their list is anywhere near the top couple, let alone playing in the grand final. But their teamwork, it's maybe even been forced on them by accident, with Griffiths getting injured, this mosquito fleet forward line. They just scrap and scrounge goals and don't let you score at the other end. It's not particularly exciting to watch in a lot of ways, but I actually think they make Sydney from years ago, where Demetrio bagged them, look pretty exciting. I thought the umpires should have gone and joined in Richmond's team song at the end. From what I saw, I thought very real crucial decision went Richmond's way, and I think the 93,000 supporters here, which is amazing. No one can deny that. What Richmond have did, and in that way, was remarkable. But I think the supporters kicked a few goals on the weekend. Look, the state leagues, fantastic effort by Sturt. Sensational crowd here yesterday. We are gathered here again at Adelaide Oval. Look, I'm wrapped for Sturt in that way. Mark Evans, Stephen Slimming, Fraser Evans, Jack Stevens, the Presses Pembroke guys, I've had a bit to do with over the years. Evo, him leaving Nord. Look, I'm wrapped for him. And look, I think it's great still for the comp, but in some regards, I would have loved Port, Richmond to win, as well as Peel Thunder in the Waffle, who did get up, Fremantle's side, to really almost force the AFL's hand to get a bloody National Reserves comp. The bake of the week, to say I am spewing TK is an understatement. Trent Cotchin, let's be honest about that. The MRP stuffed up earlier in the year when he should have been and had to be suspended for the punch to Lockie Neal, the idiotic punch in the guts. He had to go earlier in the year. They got themselves in a corner on the weekend. All he needed was that third strike, and you knew that the AFL were going to let them all off. Bang, all off. Now, I want to quote Tony Robb from my article this morning on the Footy Almanac about the whole bit. And Tony Robb has nailed it with these lines. I have no issue with the way in which Cotchin went for the ball, as I don't believe there was any intent to injure him. However, so many precedents have been set this year that the MRP had no choice but to at least fine him. Once you have rule interpretation that is determined by outcome rather than intent, there is no wriggle room. We have had the stupidity of Patrick Dangerfield being eligible for the Brownlow tonight. We've had Brodie Grundy, the tackle, earlier in the year. The perfect tackle against Ben Brown in a lot of ways. Dangerfield happens to be ineligible for the bloody Brownlow tonight. Yet, Cotchin, yay, Alice, do what you like, you're guilty. Now, some people are accusing me out there about the Sloane. Sloane Dangerfield was simply a football collision. Read the hypocrisy of the whole situation. If you get picked up for drink driving on a Monday night, you don't get a less fine or a less sentence than a Saturday. And to top it off, Brandon Ellis. And the exact words from Patrick Keane, Ellis cleared. Contact with Lockie Whitfield was contesting the ball. Oh, for goodness sake, even Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder can see that that's an idiotic comment. Of any comment made by any sporting official in the history of the world, that is right up there. And I will be sending this to Patrick Keane as well. I must admit I haven't got a reply yet from my email with the article this morning. Not that I was expecting one, but knowing Patrick, I'm just stunned in that way. He is an Iggy's boy, so I do know him. Everyone knows, would consider me weird and say, well, yes, you are different. Yep, I admit that. I admit for me, and I know I'm in a small limb, that the SANFL and Nord for me is still the big deal. That is still what I care about the most. I admit everyone's flying past me at a million miles an hour. And I admit, AFL-wise, I enjoy writing about it more than I do watching it. But I am just that disgusted with this hypocrisy. I won't be watching the AFL Grand Final. You can shove it right up your Khyber. I have lost. That for me was the final straw. Look, on the rugby side of it, we had the Melbourne Storm getting up against Brisbane Broncos 30-0. We understand that Chris Taveray and Jeff Boycott are celebrating the result. I think Brisbane did magnificently and they'd be very proud to play a whole game without scoring as well. We had North Queensland Cowboys beat Sydney Roosters. They go into the grand final there. So at least there for rugby people, paddles, except Cameron Glen. At least I've got that right this week. The Wallabies are off and playing South Africa. Their record over in South Africa is terrible. See what happens there. Oh, look, the cricket. Australia have slumped to 3-0 in India, as we know. The interesting part about it was the dropping of Matthew Wade. Now, there's also been a few rumours back in the cricket circles that there's been a bit of pressure put on the Redbacks to see Alex Carey back higher at the start of the Shield season. So it could well be Carey, Neville and Wade in that equation. As we look after Adelaide Oval, I am an Alex Carey fan, to say that is putting it mildly. He should have come in earlier than what he did for Ludeman. Cometh the out, cometh the Carey in my book. I'd have him in the baggy green for the first test. Let's wait and see what happens there. We've had KB with his jumper gate, carrying on like a pork chop about the jumper side of it. The amusing thing about the clash of jumpers, and what no one has mentioned, it generally actually comes from the umpires. The umpires are the ones who make a recommendation, hey, there was a jumper clash out there. It's not the players. And that's how amateur league, how it's always been determined on the jumper clash. The great Frederick Archibald Block did have it wrong, where he always said uni shouldn't have to change their games because they were the oldest club anyway. And as we know, Chocolate was never wrong. So overall, look, I have had plenty of requests re-tipping to keep going. It's okay, Richmond will win. They are the Bulldogs from last year. There you are, Paddles, and a few other people have requested that. But look, as I've really clearly made the point, I'm just furious, spewing. It is a joke!